When I first found the house, it felt like a jackpot. It's located not far from a small town on the outskirts, spacious, and really cheap. It was so cheap, my parents thought it was a scam. But when all the legalities were secure, and the documents were complete, I immediately moved. At first, calm. Nothing strange. There was no sound of footsteps, no sound of the door opening itself, really nothing. But that actually makes me think, why is this house selling so cheaply? The first week, just normal. I cleaned the house, repainted it, and started living on my own. But on the evening of the 9th day, I woke up around 2 a.m. because of the sound of the water tap. When I went to the kitchen, the water tap didn't turn on. But the floor is wet. It's like someone has just washed their hands, but the water won't stop dripping from the sink. I thought it was a pipe leak. I closed the main valve and went back to sleep. But in the morning, completely dry floor. In fact, there is no trace of water at all. I started to feel like something was wrong. But not enough to make me panic. 3rd month of living there, just starting to feel it. I often dream about things that I don't remember the details of, but when I wake up, my neck is wet, and my body is always tilted to the left. One morning, I woke up to find a dirty handprint on the bedroom wall, right above the headboard. But it wasn't a normal human hand. The fingers were too long. I brought a maid to clean the house every 2 days. The girl who came helped clean the house and only lasted a week. When I asked why, he just said, "Sorry, sir. I don't feel comfortable if the house is too quiet, but noisy. I'm confused. It's just me at home. What does he mean by noisy?" But I don't think too much about it. Maybe he's just afraid of being alone. Entering my first year, I started to realize, every time I come home at night, my house smells like dirt. Not the smell of wet carpet, not mold. But the smell of wet soil is like something has been dug up. One night, I decided to record the sounds inside the house using my phone, placed on the living room table. When I played it back the next morning, I heard the sound of slowly shuffling feet and heavy breathing. Like someone who was sick. But the worst part was, the voice stopped right in front of the phone. Then there was a whisper, very quiet. "Don't stay here." After I heard the recording of the whisper, I tried to reason with myself. Maybe the sound is coming from outside the house. Maybe it's the neighbor's TV sound. Maybe anything, as long as it's not a voice from within. But every time I sleep, I feel like someone is sitting on the edge of the bed. At first it was just a subtle vibration. Then the mattress creaked softly. When I opened my eyes, there was no one. But the position of the pillow changed. And the air in my room is really cold, even though there is no AC. I invited my friend, Vino, to stay overnight. I didn't say anything about interference. In the middle of the night, I woke up because I heard the sound of Vino vomiting in the bathroom. He was pale. A cold sweat. He said like this, "I woke up earlier because I heard you calling me from the attic. But you sleep next to me, right?" I immediately got goosebumps. I don't have an attic. I've never been on the roof of the house. I don't even have a ladder to get to the ceiling. The next morning, I opened the ceiling. I use a borrowed ladder, open it slowly. It's totally dark up there. But I saw something. A wooden doll, similar to an old mannequin, sat with its head down. Around him there were dead candles and small children's clothes that were full of dust. I immediately closed it and went downstairs. I told Vino, "We have to move. This house isn't right." But Vino held me back, telling me not to panic. He said, "Let's investigate first. There could be a story behind this house." The next day, I sought information from the local residents. From a small stall at the end of the street, a woman selling something told me. A family used to live there, but their child went missing. They said they were playing hide and seek, but they haven't found him to this day. The mother was stressed. Her husband ran away. Finally, the mother committed suicide in the bathroom, while constantly calling her child's name. Since then, no one has been able to stay there for more than a week. I asked, why didn't anyone mention this when the house was for sale? Because everyone wanted the house to sell quickly. After hearing that, the disturbance became more intense. Every morning at 3 a.m., my bedroom door opens slowly by itself. There's no wind. There are no open windows. I locked it with the inside padlock. But the next day, the lock opened. The door handle is really cold. And under the door, there was a small handprint of dust. Hands. Children. It's like pointing into my room. After the incident with the small hand appearing under the door, I started to lose my way. I tried moving to the next bedroom. But every night, the sounds from the old room were still there. There was the sound of toys being dropped. The sound of little feet running across the floor. And the sound of soft crying. I recorded using my cell phone again. When I heard it in the morning, the sound was clear. "Mama, I'm here. Mom, don't close the door." And after that, loud noise. It's like there's a big object being pulled across the floor. And my cell phone was found outside the room, even though I put it under the pillow. I decided to stay at Vino's house temporarily. But the disturbances from spirits didn't stop. I took something with me from that house. The first night at Vino's house, he woke me up at 3 a.m. "You sleep while talking. Your voice is different. Like a child." I recorded myself sleeping that night. And the result? I heard my own voice, spoke softly and kept asking questions. "Where are you? Why lock the door? Don't leave me, Ma." I returned home, intending only to grab a few things. As soon as I opened the door, the smell of earth greeted me again. But this time, something was different. On the living room wall, there was a large, charcoal inscription. "I'm home." The writing wasn't there yesterday. And the most terrifying thing, there was a small doll sitting on the sofa, very similar to the one I saw in the attic. But this time he was sitting upright, his eyes facing straight towards the entrance. I'm really not strong anymore. I called a psychic. Not a shaman, not a mystic, but someone who usually helps spiritually cleanse haunted houses. He came, entered the house, stayed still for a few seconds, and then immediately came back out. His face was pale. "You don't have to stay here. I'm not helping you. This place isn't for the living." The one inside, isn't an ordinary spirit. Not a wandering spirit. He lives here. You're his guest. I asked who he meant by he. He simply replied, "The last one who lived here never left. Just because you've been here for more than a year and nothing happened, that doesn't mean you're safe. That means he likes you." After the psychic refused to help, I realized one thing. I can't run away. Every time I sleep somewhere else, the disturbance gets worse. My dreams are full of the sound of crying children, and empty rooms whose walls are always changing shape. Sometimes it's my room, sometimes it's my bathroom, and sometimes. So it's a long dark tunnel that has no end. Entering my second year, I started inviting people over less frequently. Not because I was afraid of bothering them, but because they never came back. I once invited my ex, Sarah, to stay over for 2 nights. The first night was fine. But the second night, she woke up at 1 a.m., saying she heard a child laughing under the bed. She woke up, opened the covers, and saw something. A terrifying figure crawled out from under the mattress and ran to the corner of the room. She ran away that very night. And since then, Sarah hasn't answered my calls or replied to my messages again. She's truly gone. She didn't block me, she wasn't angry. She's just gone. I was increasingly unable to distinguish between dreams and reality. I started waking up frequently, with my things misplaced. Books moved to shelves I never used. Spoons lined up neatly on the bedroom floor. And on the walls. Sometimes there were small handwritten scribbles. "Dad, are you home?" One night, I tried to be brave. I burned the wooden doll from the attic. I poured oil and lit a fire behind the house. I think if that's the source, everything will be resolved. But that night, my house wasn't quiet at all. The bathroom door kept slamming, as if someone was pushing from inside. The bedroom window cracked by itself at 3:09 a.m. And I woke up because of a loud whisper in my left ear. "You made him angry." In the morning, I found 3 long lines on the bedroom wall, like claw marks. But their height and width didn't make sense for human hands. And the earthy smell throughout the house had changed. Now it wasn't just the smell of wet earth. It was the smell of rotting, long buried. The kind that makes you want to vomit, but you don't know where it's coming from. The 4th year is fast approaching. And the more I stay there, the more I realize. This house doesn't want me to leave. This house has become a part of me. Every time I step outside, my footsteps are heavy. It's like an invisible rope is holding me down. And every night, there's the sound of small footsteps coming from the hallway. Then a soft knock on my bedroom door. "Dad, open up." The 4th year has finally come. I don't know who I am anymore. Sleep only 2 to 3 hours a day. Eat only if you remember. Work. I've left. My focus is only one. Get out of this house, alive. But this house has changed. The hallways have gotten longer. The bedroom doors sometimes don't stick to their original places. And the windows now always face the black forest. When before, my yard was just empty land and a small fence. One night, the peak came. I woke up at 2:53 a.m. All the lights are off. The air is really cold, but I'm sweating. There was a sound from the living room. The voice of a small child singing a lullaby softly. I walked slowly to the front room. And there, I saw something sitting in the corner of the sofa. A small body. Its back was facing me. Its head was bowed, its long hair covering its face. And the wooden doll was in its hands. She stopped singing. Then she spoke, her voice not a child's, but a grown woman's. Deep, hoarse, and low. You promised to stay with me. Why are you leaving? I slowly backed away. But suddenly, all the lights turned on by themselves. And the whole house rumbled. The walls shook. The floor sounded like someone was banging on it from below. And the voices of children and women screaming at the same time. Don't leave us. I didn't think long. I ran outside. But when I opened the door, the front yard of the house has turned into a grave. Dozens of small gravestones, without a name. And from behind each gravestone, a hand appears. One by one. It seemed like they were pulling me in. I fainted. I woke up in the hospital. It turns out my next-door neighbor reported the police because he saw me standing still in the middle of the yard, under the rain, talking to myself. I was treated for a week. But a week passed. I received a package. It contained only one item. A small wooden doll. With a piece of paper that said, "Dad, we're not done yet."